Hi guys, this is Dave from Homegrown Herbs. This is a bit of a different video. I just sort of wanted to update you guys, well, say update, just to make you aware of something that happens. First time I've ever come across it, breeding royals in general, but I take it as applied to most snakes, to be honest, that are egg layers. This girl laid me about coming up to the 55 days now, because her eggs are due to pip within the next 4 to 5 days, I think it is. She laid me 5 beautiful eggs. I actually caught her mid-flow. She was actually laying her 5th egg when I caught her. On inspecting her, I'll see if I can find a picture of it. I'm not sure if I have actually got one. She'd still got quite a visible bulge in about the last quarter of her, so from here downwards. And to be fair, they were huge. So I packed her away, left her for another day, just to see whether she would actually lay the rest on her own. Further to actually leaving her an extra 24 hours, she still seemed to have these rather large lumps stuck in her. So I actually removed her from the eggs. I put the 5 eggs that were good in the incubator, and this girl obviously still had these, what I could feel, 3 eggs still inside of her. The one egg was actually huge. It was massive, and it was actually, to me, seemed like she was blocked up with it. So I tried gently palpating that and seeing if I could actually manipulate them down and out through the cloaca nice and gently for her. Tried 3 or 4 times with not a budge. Nothing happened, no movement, nothing. So in the end I decided there was no movement. I wanted to take her to the vets, get her checked over and find out what's what. On taking her up to the vets, they had a good look. Again, they did the same as me, palpated to see if they could move her down a bit. After doing that, they also decided that maybe they'd be able to open her cloaca with a small probe and see if they could manipulate the eggs out that way. On doing that, they actually noticed that the overduct itself was actually twisted, which was why she couldn't pass them. So it's something that to be honest, I've not heard of myself. Looking into it, there's quite a few cases of it happening, but it was something new to me. So I've never really heard of it happening before. So there was no other option really but to actually have the eggs removed. So we booked her in for the same day and had the surgery. Literally took a few minutes just to cut the side of her open and remove what was, exactly as I said, the 3 remaining eggs. And if you can see, she's just still got her stitches in, just at the side there. She's going today to have them removed. It has been now 6 weeks. She went back twice for antibiotic shots, and she was sent home with 3 lots of pain relief as well. The end of the day, it's not something I'm trying to scaremonger you off or anything. It wasn't cheap. It cost a large amount of money. I'd have paid it all day long for the sorry guys, my battery died. As I was saying, I'd have paid it all day long for the simple reason that my reptiles in general, whether they be my breeding stock or whether they be just my pets, to me every one of them is my pet. I love them and hold them very dear to my heart. I've kept reptiles as long as I've kept cats and dogs. I was around 5 or 6 years old when I had my very first reptile, which was a marble gecko. Horrible little thing. All it wanted to do was bite me every 5 seconds of the day, but again, all the same, I love them and dear them, really close to my heart. So it's not a way of saying, oh look, don't get into reptiles because you'll end up with massive vet bills and you'll end up with this. I'm just making you aware of what can actually happen. the end of the day, big things like this happen, and you've got to be prepared and willing to put it right. At the end of the day, something like this, I've put her in this situation, nobody else. I've paired her, I've bred her. She's quite happy to carry on her life, not breeding or doing anything. So I've put her in that situation, so I've got to be willing to put her right. But I will do a little update when she's back on the end of this video, and let you know how she got on at the vets, and how she got on having her stitches out. I'll also do an update obviously once her eggs start to pip, which will be in, I think it's 5 to 6 days to be honest, but I will double check.
Okay guys, we are back from the vets. She was absolutely golden, never a problem with Lettie, to be fair. She's usually a really good snake. No issues, no infections. The vet says that she has healed up absolutely lovely, and to be fair, I think she has. Let's just get around so we can see a little better. You can still see it's a little crinkled up, but I've said with time that will flatten out and it will completely disappear. As you can see, you can barely see where the incisions have even been made. Now, as I say, absolutely perfect, no issues at all. So happy to report she's well and truly on the mend. I do really like this girl. The blushings on her are absolutely beautiful. As I say, she's an apparent het caramel. We don't know how much truth is in that. But she is such a pretty little snake, really is. Okay guys, just a quick update on Lettie, and I was speaking to the vet today. I sort of went into it a little bit more of what actually happened when Marie examined Lettie on the day. She couldn't really pronounce enough how lucky I was to have got her up that day. If she'd have been left any longer, there's a very, very good chance that I'd have lost her that day. From what she was explaining to me, she actually managed to examine her and she opened the cloaca up. On opening the cloaca up, she could actually see the left overduct perfectly fine. That had been where the 5 eggs actually came out, and she delivered those eggs absolutely fine. On further inspection, the area that should have been the right overduct was massively swollen, and there was no visible signs of an entrance to the overduct, which is why she was so adamant on actually having her in there and then, and operating there and then. I can't emphasise enough that if she'd have been left any longer, there's a good chance we would have lost at that time. When they actually got inside, they managed to actually unflip the overduct and then obviously cut her open and remove the eggs. When they actually removed the eggs, I thought at first they looked fertile. Speaking to Marie yesterday, looks like that they weren't fertile, and actually that twist may have been there before she even produced eggs, because those eggs were in her eyes infertile. So she thinks that the overduct might have already been twisted, and that she actually couldn't even get sperm up to that overduct. So from what I can gather now is that Maria said she's unflipped the overduct, sorry, and that she has put a small stitch to actually try and prevent that from happening again. To be fair, it wouldn't really have mattered anyway, because I would never have bred her again anyway. But it's to stop any cancer or any complications in the future, hopefully. But as I say, Lettie will now never be bred again. She will more than likely stay with me for life, just as a pet now. I will try and carry on proving her out through her offsprings now, as long as obviously there's no genetic problems, and we'll see how we go with that. I just sort of wanted to explain a little bit more, and give you a little bit more of an insight into what actually happened that day. And again, I can't emphasise enough how important it is to know your animals, and to know signs when they're looking stressed or when they're looking happy. anything makes a difference and everything counts. So if you even down to soft things, if they look like they're lying in a funny way, if they look like they're fidgeting around the tubs a bit more than normal, around their bibs for that case, don't pass it up. Call your vets. Even just a quick phone call can put you at ease, or even pinpoint a few little things for you. It's not worth your animal's life at the end of the day, just to think, it's nothing. And I can be 100% proof of that. It's not worth that fact. If you think there's something wrong, get in there and get it checked. Okay guys, I hope everyone's absolutely sound. I hope this really helps, and as always, let's teach, not preach.